Dear students, in this video, we are going to discuss about the expression for torque in Cartesian coordinates. We know that Cartesian coordinates means x, y, z, a set of coordinate axes. Now we have to find out the expression for torque in Cartesian coordinates. First of all, let us recall what is torque. I told you that whenever a force rotates some object, then that rotational effect of that force is known as torque. The more rotational effect, the more the torque. So torque is something which is related to rotation, right? I told you that when you apply a force at one of the ends of the object is going to rotate. So this clearly means that the force that you applied caused rotational motion. So that's rotational effect of force. Okay. And that rotational effect is known as torque. Torque is given by Rf sine theta. Right? So where R refers to the distance from the fixed axis to that point where you are applying the force. F refers to the force that you have applied. Theta refers to the angle between R vector and F vector. Right? So let's have a look here. Suppose this is the coordinate axis, right? So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and a particle or an object is undergoing rotational motion. So it's a kind of arc that I have shown you here. It's undergoing rotational motion in xy plane. So suppose when it is undergoing rotation, in its initial position is P, and after an instant you view the object to be at Q. Alright, so when it is undergoing the rotation, suppose the initial point where you have just seen the object is P, and after an instant the object comes to Q. Okay, so let's figure out the position vectors of these two positions, these 2 points P and Q, which are lying on the arc, right? So OP vector is R vector, OQ vector is R vector plus dr vector, as the particle has undergone some displacement PQ. Okay, so that PQ will be dr vector, because R vector plus dr vector will make it R vector plus dr vector as per triangle law of vector addition, which says that if two vectors are in the same order, so they will be added up to find out the resultant. Fine. So suppose a force suddenly acted on P and it went to Q. Like the displacement of the particle from P to Q happened all because of a force called F vector. Now this F vector will have two components, one horizontal component and one vertical component, Fx and Fy, right? And suppose the angular displacement that is being taking place, that's theta, right? So first of all, OP vector equals to R vector, OQ vector equals to R vector plus dr vector, and this PQ vector is equal to dr vector. So when the particle actually displaced from P to Q, what will be the work done in moving the particle from P to Q? That will be dW, which is the work done. So that work done will be equal to F vector dot dr vector, force into displacement, right? F vector can be written as Fx I cap plus Fy j cap, which are the rectangular components of F vector. Similarly, dr vector, which is the displacement, can be written as dx I cap plus dy j cap, right? So put all these rectangular components like this one and this one in this expression. In place of F vector, put this. In place of dr vector, put this. And there's a dot product. You know that dot product works as I cap dot I cap, j cap dot j cap. Because I dot j and j dot I is 0. So fx dx plus fy dy. After that, see, this was the initial point P point. If you see the coordinates of P point in xy plane, that will come out to be xy. So suppose the coordinates of this P point are xy. So this will be, see, this P is making an angle theta with x-axis. That's what I have shown here. This is the P vector, OP vector, which is equal to R vector. P has the coordinates xy, this is x and this is y. So talking about x will be equal to r cos theta, reason being x upon r, base upon hypotenuse equals to cos theta. So x is equal to r cos theta. The same way, y upon r perpendicular upon hypotenuse is equal to sin theta. So y is equal to r sin theta. Now my target is to find out the value of dx and dy in terms of theta. Again the same thing I have written, x is equal to r cos theta, y is equals to r sin theta. So let's have a differentiation of this expression with respect to theta. So this becomes dx by d theta, r as it is, and when you differentiate cos theta, that becomes minus sin theta, right? And same way, if you differentiate y with respect to theta, that becomes dy by d theta equals to r as it is, as it's a constant with respect to theta, and the differentiation of sin theta becomes cos theta. Perfectly fine. So dx by d theta is minus r sin theta, dy by d theta is r cos theta. Okay, so you know that y is equal to r sin theta. So put this thing over here. This negative sign remains as it is, and this r sin theta is definitely equal to y. So dx by d theta becomes equal to y minus y. The same way, dy by d theta came out to be r cos theta, but r cos theta is definitely equal to x. So I am going to substitute this stuff from here to here, and I'm ultimately going to get dy by d theta equals to x. So let's find out the value of dx and dy as I had already stated. So, and you know that this was the expression that you got on the previous page, which was the expression for work done when actually the body moved from P to Q. See, the force acted on P, and that force eventually took the object to Q, right? So dw as it is, fx as it is, in place of dx put this stuff, in place of dy put this stuff, and ultimately you're going to get this expression. But you know what? That whenever we consider the linear motion, then the work done manifests itself into the linear displacement. Like I applied a force over here and the object had undergone the linear displacement. That's why the expression becomes work done is equal to force into displacement, right? But had it been a rotational motion, in the rotational motion, the object is undergoing the rotation, and the kind of displacement that it undergoes is not only the linear one, it's the angular one. Like the object was here, it rotated and then it moved here from P to Q. So you know what, if this is considered as the radius, so you can see that angularly the object displaced from points P to Q. So this one is angular displacement. And what was responsible for this? It was not only the force, it was the torque. So in rotational motion, the same work done is written as torque into angular displacement. In linear motion, it is written as force into displacement, whereas in rotational motion, it's written as torque into angular displacement, right? So after that, what am I going to do? dW equals to tau d theta, where tau is torque, which is of course the rotational effect of force, and angular displacement is d theta, right? So when you just have a look at these two expressions, you're going to view that in place of torque, you are observing this. See, dW, dW, d theta, d theta. In place of torque, you are observing this. So this means this torque is definitely equal to this stuff. So this is the expression for torque in Cartesian coordinates. In Cartesian coordinates, xfy minus yfx. And this torque is in the z direction. Like if the force applied was in xy plane, like if the rotation was happening in xy plane, then the torque must be in z direction. This thing you otherwise also know, because torque is the cross product of r vector and f vector, and the cross product is always perpendicular to the two vectors that are constituting it, right? It's always perpendicular to the plane which is containing those two vectors. Anyway, so this is something that you have got. This is the expression for torque.